For over 2,000 years, explorers have chased the ghost of a lost utopian civilization. Treasure hunters have targeted coordinates in the Mediterranean, mapped the Caribbean seabed, and even theorized that shifting continents pushed the island beneath the ice of the South Pole. They are hunting for a society supposedly populated by half-gods, hoarding infinite gold and wielding technology far ahead of its time. But as deep-sea submersibles and modern sonar arrays comb the ocean floor, they continue to yield absolutely nothing. This is because land masses are made of thick, buoyant crust that floats on the Earth's denser mantle. Because of that buoyancy, a landmass the size of a continent cannot physically sink into the ocean in a single day. If forced down, the crust simply rebounds. This lack of physical evidence points to a different kind of origin. Since the island cannot exist on the Atlantic floor, we have to examine the one place it was actually born, the writings of a Greek philosopher. The entire concept of Atlantis traces back to the philosopher Plato, who introduced the island in two dialogues, the Timaeus and Critias, around 360 BC. Plato was not a historian recording facts. He used the Socratic method, creating hypothetical scenarios to test ethical and political ideas. In his narrative, he designed Atlantis as a greedy naval empire, built on concentric circular islands and massive moats. He then contrasted this opulent empire with its conqueror, a fictionalized, humble, and idealized version of ancient Athens. Atlantis was never meant to be a real location. It was a philosophical straw man, constructed specifically to be defeated by Plato's concept of an ideal state. Beyond Plato's pages, history is silent. There are no records of Atlantis from contemporary Egyptians, Romans, or any other Greeks living at the time. Even Plato's own famous student, Aristotle, recognized the story as an invention. He dismissed the account as a pedagogical tool, a story used solely to teach a lesson. While the island was fictional, Plato likely drew his imagery from a real disaster in the Mediterranean. Around 1600 BC, a massive volcanic eruption at Santorini, or Thera, triggered tsunamis that devastated the Minoan Civilization. This event likely provided the apocalyptic visual of a landmass vanishing into the sea. The ancient world understood the story was fiction. The modern attempt to find a literal city represents a break in historical logic that the Greeks themselves wouldn't have recognized. The literal interpretation began in 1882 when Ignatius Donnelly took the text at face value and claimed all ancient cultures descended from a technologically advanced Atlantean race. From there, the myth turned occult. Madame Blavatsky added claims of psychic powers and reincarnation to the narrative. Later, the clairvoyant Edgar Cayce pushed the myth into popular culture with his prophecies that the city would eventually rise again from the Atlantic. This reached a dark extreme when Nazi ideologues co-opted the legend, manufacturing a Nordic Atlantean master race to provide a mythological pretext for their genocide. Centuries of this historical game of telephone eventually buried Plato's original intent under layers of global pseudoscience. Modern classicists, philologists, and geologists agree Atlantis is a literary device, not a geographical location. Plato's actual warning wasn't about a physical sinking. It was about the inevitable moral decay of wealthy societies. He was illustrating the danger of imperial hubris and the weight of unmitigated greed. Yet we remain obsessed with hunting for literal sunken gold and utopian magic. By treating a philosophical warning as a treasure map, we've missed the lesson entirely. The true lost artifact isn't a sunken city. It's the message Plato tried to send us.